Hi and welcome. My name is Dina Mitchell, and I am with MAPS Performance Coaching and the Thrive Partnership. I have a lot of people that ask me about what kind of coaching I offer and who is a good coaching candidate. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time on the kind of coaching that I provide as a performance coach and with a master practitioner in neuro-linguistic programming, along with mental and emotional release and release point method uh, certifications. So with the Thrive Partnership, this was a journey we started about almost 8 years ago. That started first on a personal development journey. I made a decision that I would take at least two trainings a year for my own personal development. So nothing work related. I just wanted to do personal development. Well, it was interesting because it quickly became apparent to me how much this was going to impact my work. So I started out with a landmark forum, became advanced landmark, then moved into Tony Robbins and on to neuro-linguistic programming. I've gone through empowerment partnership for my master practitioner. I have also gone through the INLP Center with the International Coaching Federation, became a professional certified coach, as well as NLP Unlimited to get my third certification in Master Practitioner of Neurolinguistic, as well as two different styles of release. And you might say, Dina, why'd you do that? Well, because at the beginning of my journey in personal development and really focusing on being the best version of me, everything seemed to want to make me sit in my crap and relive things and write apology letters and call and have conversations. And you know what, you guys, some of that really does work and it's great and I love it and it's awesome, but it wasn't doing it for me. Um, it wasn't landing. And when I found neuro-linguistic programming in the NLP world, it all kind of connected with me. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about how it helps in you learning how to become the best version of you. So let's start with change, right? People resist change. Nobody really goes, I think I'm going to change today. Usually, the only thing that causes that to happen is a level of discomfort in what is currently happening, or such a strong pull to who you want to be. And with that, what ends up happening, so if we look at this beautiful chart here, there's a prerequisite to the change. In order for anybody to want to have something different, they first have to have an awareness that there is a possibility of something different, right? So maybe it's something they see on TV. Maybe it's somebody that they see accomplishing what they want to accomplish. Um, it shows up in different ways in different areas, right? Or it could just be how they're feeling. A lot of my clients, they come to me in what we call stuck states. I just want something more and I can't figure out what it is. Or I want something and I can't figure out why I can't get there. I hear that a lot. Why can't I have what I want? What's stopping me from getting what I want? And so two things are happening. There's an awareness that they want something different. And then there is the awareness of the possibility that it can be different. Now, the third one, that's the key. You have to be willing to take responsibility for the change that you want. Once you have those three things and you're like, you know what? I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to do this. I'm going to move forward. Then there are 4 requisites for the change to be a lasting change. The first is to do the release work. So we'll get into that in a minute about what I mean by that. The second is goal setting. Once you've released, then you can set new goals. You take action and you stay focused. As a mental and emotional performance coach, I can't well, that's not true. I'd like to say you have to come to me aware that something isn't working and that you're willing to lean in with your coach. We can walk through release work. That looks different for a lot of different people. It depends on where you are in your journey, what has been going on. There's many different methods that we can do that, from the release point method to mental and emotional release to simply reframing, right? So through that introductory call, we determine, is this something, we don't want to be giving you antibiotics if a hey, you just need to drink more water kind of thing goes through. So some people it's a little bit longer process, some people it's a very immediate process. Goal setting, your coach works with you, and then as a performance coach, I work with you on taking that action and staying focused. Let's talk a little bit about the release work. So, your conscious mind is your goal setter. Consciously, you say, I want this. Your unconscious mind is the goal getter. This is where the I don't know why I can't get what I want, why that comes in, is because there is an unconscious block. Your unconscious mind has a lot of functions. Not only does it make sure that you're breathing, right? You don't consciously sit here and go, I need to take a breath. I need to take a breath. I need to take a breath, right? I mean, that's not happening. Your conscious mind doesn't say, okay, we have to take the toothbrush out. We have to put the toothpaste on the toothbrush and we got to brush our teeth, right? These are some unconscious things that you just do naturally. When you consciously set goals and something is blocking you from achieving it, majority of the time, it is because your unconscious mind is getting in the way. Let's talk a little bit more about that. There is a book called Flow, and the neuroscientists in this book determined, they actually, at this point, it says 1 megabit per second. It's actually almost 2 million bits per second. So 1 megabit, 2 million bits of external events are happening around us that we're receiving. Think about it. We have your 5 senses, your visual, your auditory, your kinesthetic, what you feel. I feel my jacket on my skin. Olfactory, you tasting different things. Gustori, if you just ate something, or as your body, if you haven't eaten for a while. All of these things are happening every second. I mean, our bodies and our minds are so amazing. In order for us to be able to function and our brain to be able to do what it's doing, it has to take all of those 5 senses and what it's receiving and either delete, distort, or generalize. An example of deletion. Have you ever been driving down the road and all of a sudden you go, oh, look at that cute dog. And somebody says, I didn't see the dog. Well, it wasn't important to them. It wasn't part of their filters. An example of the generalization. Have you ever been in a car with a car buff and they're like, oh my gosh, did you see the Corvette? And you're like, oh, that red car? You generalized it into the car category where they got real specific. No, that's a 1978 Corvette. A distortion is when we distort our memories, distort what's happening, because we've got to filter it. We've got to fit all of these things into our filters, right? So the things that help us delete, distort, and generalize and basically create the world that we're seeing is our values, our beliefs, our meta programs, past decisions that we've made, and memories. Now, all of these filters are typically determined before we're even of the age of 21. And they work really well for us in the time, right? A great example of a belief that would have been passed down, or we can say it's a decision depending on, I won't get into a battle of which one it is, right? You have to work hard to make a lot of money. It's interesting because if we go back a couple of generations, people did have to work really hard to be able to get ahead in life. I think we can all agree in 2024, there are people who are making millions and only working 10 hours a week. So hard work equaling making a lot of money might be a belief that's actually harming you right now, where you're putting in all of these extra hours, you're sacrificing your family time, you're sacrificing relationships, and you're not getting ahead. Is because the focus and the filter isn't serving what you need to really be doing. All of these filters create an internal representation. Our unconscious mind thinks in images, pictures. We get the picture from what we're receiving, and then that tells us how we should feel, which then tells us our state, our physiology, and then how we act outside. A very great way for me to say this is, have you ever been in a room full of people where you're feeling triggered and nobody else is? And you cannot believe that they're accepting what's happening around you. It is because your internal model of the world is different than somebody else's. And quite frankly, this is everybody. Everybody has a different interpretation. We're seeing different pictures. A great example is if I asked you to think about a beach. If you love going to the Pacific Northwest, we can agree that beach to you is going to be significantly different than somebody who enjoys going to the Caribbean beach. Their beach is completely different. So in this world of neuro-linguistic programming and in this world of performance coaching, what we're doing is we're determining, is there a value? And your value, they're what we call our guiding lights, right? If your value around money is to have fun, it may be preventing you from actually moving forward in accumulating wealth. I've had people who we've done what's called a values elicitation, and they keep saying, I don't know why I can't make the money I want to make. And we do a values elicitation, and money doesn't show up anywhere in their top values. Well, if it's not anywhere in your top values and it's not guiding you, trying to make it's going to be really hard. Good news is we can shift things, and we can reframe, and we can help the unconscious mind get on board with the conscious mind. It's absolutely fabulous. It's so empowering. All of my clients, I feel more empowered to do what I want to do. Instead of being constantly pulled by something that we picked up. And I'm going to time out, because a lot of people think that this is, well, Dana, nothing traumatic happened to me when I was young. I had a great childhood. Everything was fine. Here's the truth. It could have been at recess in second grade where somebody said, "You're stupid." It can be that quick. And whether you liked that person or not, you could have grabbed onto it unconsciously. And the way our mind works is when we grab a belief, I'll take from Landmark, when we grab a story, our unconscious mind will start looking to validate the truth behind that story, even if it's not true. There's so many things that as we're growing up, we're gathering this evidence. And then we start to live life on repeat. And at some point, it stops serving us. And we have to decide if we're willing to take a look at what those beliefs are, what those values are, what those decisions of the past were, memories we're holding on to. Now, I'm going to be really clear. This is not about putting blame of why you're not getting something on anyone else. That is not at all what I am saying. In fact, I would tell you, if you are above the age of 18, you're responsible for you. You're responsible for making it go, okay, somebody said this to me, and I am now aware that this is the story that I created. This is the decision that I made in that moment. And that is what is continuing to move me, to hold me back from going to that next level. As entrepreneurs, I coach a lot of entrepreneurs. We have this natural talent, a natural level of achievement. And in order to go to the next level of achievement, we have to let go of some things so that we can become who we need to become. And as a performance coach, that's what I do. Is I help you let go of the things that are holding you back from being who you truly desire to be. The wheel of life is a very good starting point to see which area should I be looking at first. If you're giving yourself a 3 in health and fitness and a 6 in work and career, we're going to start on the health and fitness first, because we want to make sure that we have the capability of being able to do what we want to do every day, right? If you don't have your physical health, who cares? Who cares? And there are 4 parts in this, right? So who do you want to be? How do you want to think? How do you want to feel? What do you want to do? What I find is that a lot of people start with, I need to do. And quite honestly, in this wheel of life here, there are only 2 places where what you do comes first. It's defining who do I want to be that actually, in the majority of these things, is what happens. And that's when we talk about lessons of mastery and lessons of life. So if you're interested, I'm with Keller Williams MAPS Coaching. We have Mastery, we have Breakthrough. I have the Thrive Partnership for my non-real estate friends. We do 90-day turnarounds, release work. So if you're interested in learning more, go ahead and just click on the www.thrivepartnership.com. You can book your free 15-minute discovery call today and determine if you would like to become who you've been created to be. Let's empower your journey. Let's transform your life, and let's help you become who you know you are meant to be. Have a great day.